Over the course of the past weekend, Jared Bleznick returned to the high-stakes coin poker felts in an unprecedented manner. Not only was he able to successfully secure $2.5 million in profits, but he was also able to pull off one of the biggest high-stakes online games ever played. Starting things off, we find both players with similar stacks. Our weekend warrior with a double-suited holding and pocket sevens while he's at it. Villain on the button opens action with a 3x raise to 6k, as Blez then bumps it up to 18, but the pre-flop action doesn't stop there as we see a cold 4 to 54,000 followed by a call. With over $100,000 in the middle, the flop comes ace 8-3 with 2 hearts. Blez leads for 100 shy of pot, and our villain goes all in. Jared calls, and we run it twice. We see villain's holding, and it's time to catch up as he's flopped a pair of aces and we're behind. With the first run out giving us a red river, we see 212k headed our way. Run out number 2 provides the nuts in another fashion, as it's always coming 7. We make a set and secure the rest of the bag. Right into hand number 2 with an incredible $1.6 million at our disposal. Pocket kings to start as we see our opponent raise things up to a standard 3x. We 3-bet 3x back to 18 and our opponent proceeds to call. Flop provides us with our third amigo as another cowboy comes in along with a 6 and a 5. Top set seems pretty good to me as Blez puts in 50% pot lead and gets a call. 3 of diamonds on the turn and we once again see a lead, but this time a downsize to 35% or 26k. Another call, and now 6 figures in the middle as we see a river queen. Full pot this time, as villain calls off the remainder of his stack, shows 2 pair, and sees a whopping 341k pot head our hero's way. Mo money, mo problems, but not for Blez as he finds him on the button, this time with a suited king-jack and raising things up. Our opponent re-raises, we call, and flop top 2 with the redraw to the king-high flush. Villain leads for half pot, and it's our turn to return fire. 42k now, and it's his decision to act. They call, and the dealer provides the nuts by way of the ace of spades. Nearly $121,000 in the middle as our opponent first to act decides to now check. Jared goes with 30, and we're going to a seemingly inconsequential river which comes 2 of clubs. Villain checks once more as this couldn't be an easier decision. We want all of it, and just like that we get it for another $400,000 pot. Let's switch it up for this next one as we see things from our opponent's view and Jared with a shorter stack. Pocket aces and 3 spades, we see a familiar raise to 6 and 3 to 18. 3-bet isn't enough, villain once again raises this time to 54k and we finally go to a flop. 4, 3, 2 of different suits and action on Blez who checks. Our pre-flop aggressor goes for all of it and puts out 108.7k and wants the rest of the chips in play. Jared calls off, they decide to run it twice. We see our hero's holding as he's flopped the wheel and turns the straight to 6, then 7, and scoop the first half. Run out 2 hardly matters at all as we fade the chop once again and take the remaining half. If you're gonna win $2.5 million in a weekend, I'd say cracking aces isn't a bad way to do it as we see our stack is also once more over 7 figures. Pocket 9s and 2 clubs, our button raises to 6k and we call off to see a flop. Ace, jack, 3, rainbow. Out of position we check and see a hefty bet of 9.5k. Blez isn't having it and re-raises to 28. Call. And then the turn is the queen of diamonds. Blez's turn to start the action this time as he goes full pot and nearly 69 and receives a call yet again. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
We hit our set on the river and have our opponent right where we want them, hoping to check call off the rest of the villain stack, but unfortunately getting the check back. We still yet again scoop an impressive 206k pot. Still over 7 figures, and this time with pocket deuces, which surely couldn't loses for us. We raise things up to 4k and are met with another call. No set, no bet, no problem. We have set. Villain checks over to us and we go for $100 less than pot to start things off. Villain calls once more and the turn is the 8 of hearts. Out of position checks again, and since we still have our set, we bet 26.1k and another quick call. 6 of clubs river, and with a third check, Jared goes for barrel number 3 and puts in a bet of 46k. Calling station calls all 3 streets and another 6-figure pot secured. You know, they say keep friends closer, but your poker enemies closer, as we're going to switch things over to some close quarters combat on the high stakes E felt. First to act, and with a hand that quite literally looks like Christmas, pocket 8s and 6s, and up to 1.2 we go. Met with resistance, we retaliate and click it back to 10.8 and get the call. Queen 9-5 on the flop, as our villain this time leads for just shy of 11. A call and a turn is the 7 of spades, and we've gone from the gutter ball to the grail and have the straight to the 9. Villain now leads for just shy of 22k, but we want to build this pot and raise it to 77.7, nearly 200k in the middle now. Our opponent checks and Blez fires in 6-figure bet of 111.1k, gets the call, and ships over $420,000. Villain's view and a king and jack of spades like ours from before. Bet and a re-raise to 3.6k as we now go to a flop. Top pair, king kicker, our hero elects to lead for 4.6. No shock, we see things raised to 14k and Jared calls off. 10 of diamonds, and Blez once again leads for a bet of 18k. Call from the villain and another deuce on the river. A third lead of 32 as we see our villain come over the top all in. Easy with aces as Jared calls and hauls in 250k. Sticking with this view once more, we see our opponent with a double suited pocket 8s. With Blez starting action and raising it to a 3x, we see things clicked back, and then fourth to almost 11k. Jack 9-4, and now our villain has top and bottom and leads for 11k. Jared re-raises, and once more we see things escalate as our villain is now all in. Another easy call for Blez as he turns over a better 2 pair by way of Jack 9 and a redraw to the straight. Players elect to run it twice, and once more we see neither improve and our hero scoop both halves. Let's bring it back to Blez for the last 2 hands as we see him dealt a suited king 5 in connectors. Action on our villain who raises to 1.2 with a standard re-raise back to 3.6. Going to the flop now, which comes 6-4-3. Straight to the 7, Blez checks, hoping to set his trap. Success, as he puts in a bet of 2.5. We pump it to over 10k and get the call. Ace of club turn seems good to me as we switch gears and throw out a pot-sized lead and once more get the call. With a 7 on the river now giving us the straight to the 8, Bleznick goes for value, gets it, and sees more chips move his way. Alright, last hand for part 1, and with 2 suited gappers this should be fun. With the standard raise and then re-raise, but this time with a 4 bet to 7.2k. Flop comes Jack 6-4, and we have bottom 2. Villain leads for 8.8, and we go to the turn. 10 of spades. Villain now decides to check out of position, and Blez skillfully checks back. Jackpot! Another 4 on board, and we have a boat and see a pot-sized bet into us. With only one thing left to do, Jared cranks it up to 130k and goes for all of the chips, getting both that and our last six-figure pot for just shy of $210,000. I, for one, cannot get enough of these insane stakes and pots, and I sure hope Jared can't either. This is only part 1, and part 2 provides just as much crazy action and exchanges of money. Be on the lookout for that video to drop soon, and in the meantime, make sure to like, subscribe to all of our socials across the board. Only on Coin Poker.